Jeffrey Fogel.
Good evening. My name is Jeffrey Fogel. I reside at 215 Spruce Street in Belmont neighborhood. First, I'd like to say to my colleague at the bar, I resent the fact that you attacked our mayor. I think she's doing a great job. And I resent your attitude. If you want to run these city council meetings, run for office. See how popular you are. See what the people say. Chose her above anybody else to run these meetings. You should respect that. Now, I really came tonight, and this is the 5th year I've been here, talking about stop and frisk. Nothing, but nothing has been done about the graphic statistics that you've been provided with for the last 5 years. The outrageous statistics that show that 70 to 80% of the people being stopped on the street are black. And what I found out this year when I FOIA'd it, police departments decided to stop keeping these statistics. So we don't know this year how many people have been stopped. What we do know is the limited statistics that I got were those people who were stopped but not arrested or given a summons. And that number is 155. Now, in previous years, the total number of stop and frisks on the street, including those who were arrested and summoned, was less than 155. So how many stops and frisks do we have going on in the city? Of those 155, I can tell you, 108 are African American, or 70%. Nothing has been done about it. The question I have, and I think it's one that can be answered tonight by Mr. Jones, were you aware that the city police department stopped keeping these statistics? If so, why did they keep doing these statistics? Are you aware of any effort on the part of the police department? You are, after all, the public safety director. Any effort on the part of the police department in the last 5 years to do something about these statistics, which on the face of them show that the police department is engaged in a racist program? Have you done anything? And that's what I think we're entitled to hear. The council should be getting into this. There were several of you who've been listening to me for 5 years and haven't cared about it. You wonder why people from the minority communities don't trust you? Maybe this is one of the reasons, because you don't care. This is a graphics. These are not my statistics. This is the police department. They have not done a single thing in 5 years to reverse this. In fact, what they've done is doubled and tripled the program. And still we're finding 70 to 80% of the people being stopped are African American, and 95% of them have done absolutely nothing. Stop, stop, and frisk. You can't do it well, don't do it at all. And you have a responsibility for Mr. Jones for this. You've been listening to me for 5 years. You are the public safety director. You should be doing something about this, particularly when we don't have a police chief.
So, do we know why they stopped collecting?
Well, obviously they haven't stopped collecting the information on stop and frisk. That information is still out there. I think the previous Commonwealth's attorney and the previous police chief decided was not to keep the arrest numbers. We have access to those, but they're not collecting them the way they were before. And so I've actually asked the police department to research that and to get those arrest numbers, because I believe we need to have those numbers. I think it's important to have. I've also talked to our interim police chief about getting a report together for City Council, which he is doing, and will provide an update to the City Council on this at the second meeting in March, to provide background on what's going on with stop and frisk and the training that our officers have undergone over the course of the last couple of years.
What's happening?
So,
5 years.
So, Mr. Jones,
Sure.
thank you for the update. So we'll be having, just to be clear, we'll be getting a report, or a report has been requested from our interim police chief for the second meeting in March. That's to correct. Provide us information in regards to the updated statistics in regards specifically to stop and frisk that's just been described. And also included in that, is it possible for us to allow the public to know if we have an update of sorts in regards to where we are in the search for our police chief? Is that
Sure.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. Right now, or at that time?
No, at that time.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
I don't think you have the info right now, do you?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the position is closed. It closed a couple of weeks ago, and we are in the process of reviewing the applications.
Yeah. So at that meeting, we could move forward then.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other? So I will say those numbers are startling, and in areas where there's increased activism, we see, more police, attempts to control areas. So we have to make sure, that we get a handle on that, because that shows that in the year that we've had significant issues, especially with the summer, that also there's an increase of police presence somewhere, and that there's an increase in individuals being stopped. So we should fix that as soon as we can.
And council, we'll, as I said, we'll provide an update, and then also talk about the overall number of stop and frisk compared to the overall number of interactions between our police department and the public, and we'll provide information, as I said before, on the number of arrests as well.
To defend yourself, you're not going to give them the truth.
We've already provided the truth, Mr. Fogel.
No, you haven't.
Yes, we have, Mr. Fogel.
5 years
We're
and
one
you
of the,
haven't done
we're
a
one of the,
darn
we're one of the few police departments in the entire state of Virginia that actually collects this information.
Too. That doesn't prove anything. You've got to do something with
So,
those statistics.
the meeting,
Michael Payne.